Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully well. My coffee. Got my static water. Tastes like television static. All right. Today I want to go over ControlNet. I've been using ControlNet for a long time, doing lots of cool stuff with it. But last night I saw some really cool stuff. And people were using it in Deforum and making animations with it, which looks really cool. It started with people using it with static image, and that was really cool because we used ControlNet with things like that in the past, but the QR code model in particular, it makes a really cool way of sort of segmenting your pattern into two different things. One thing we've always wanted was the ability to do masked diffusion, where I say, where the input image is black, I want it to do this, and where it's white, I want it to do that. Or if it's a segment, I want it the red part to be this, the blue part to be sky, green part to be trees, etc. There are solutions for that. There are some cool ways to do that. I haven't explored it enough yet, but what I have been exploring like crazy for the last 48 hours is using the QR Code ControlNet to sort of get us halfway there. I really like this this method, and I think it makes some really cool videos. And I was just hanging out with my friend Pancakes, and we were talking about ways to incorporate hybrid video, because he uses hybrid video very effectively in different ways. And yeah, so basically today I'm gonna make some Deforum animation. Well, actually first I'm gonna start by making a Blender animation to drive the mask, and then we're gonna run that mask through Deforum and see what it does to the image. Basically repeat the process I've been doing for the last 40 so you guys can get an idea of ways you can incorporate this and other cool stuff you can. Sec, I do want to pull up the chat on my other window here just in case there are questions. And yeah, if you got questions, you want me to slow down, you want me to talk about what I'm doing, please say so in the chat, and I will try to pay attention. All right. Hello, Joe8 Creations and Swiss Crypto Cat. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you're here for some nerdy stuff, because that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to play music on the stream, so go ahead and put something on in the background. I know people sometimes like having control of their own music, and I also don't want to get copy stricken. I want this video to last on YouTube. So yeah, put on some tunes and sit back, and we'll get into it. And I'll sip my coffee gently. Okay, let me look. Here we are in Blender. One of the things I've been doing for a long time now with Blender is making animated textures. So let's do that. This isn't really a Blender tutorial, but I'll just try to go through this really fast. So if you want to try this yourself, it's not too hard. There's a bunch of tutorials out there on how to make the camera point at a plane to make an animated image. I'll talk about it, but there are better tutorials out there. All right, so we make a plane, Shift A, add a mesh, add a plane. We have a plane, add a camera, Shift A, camera. Our camera, we changed it to an orthographic. Oh, actually, let me move my head because I'm covering up the settings here. There we go. All right, so we change our camera type to orthographic, and it's gonna be like better. I won't explain why right now. Change all of the rotations to 0. Move the camera up above the plane itself. So you want to move it up on the Z-axis. Anywhere above the plane is fine because it's orthographic. and you want to set the scale to 2. And what that's going to do is plane with a camera above it with an orthographic scale of 2 is actually going to fit perfectly within the bounds of the camera, and that's what we want, because we're going to make a texture on this plane, and we want the camera to point perfectly at it. So we're going to change resolution 24 by 1024, because that's what we want for our input video. And there we have our camera pointing down at a plane on a perfect square. So basically, you lights, kill the background stuff on your rendered mode, and then the plane, a new material, and make it emissive material. Now our plane is emitting white light. One thing that's important to do if you want to get these values from exactly 0 to 1, go into color management in the very top tab here on the right and change it from filmic to standard, and that's going to give you, see how it went to actually white, not gray. Filmic is used for the path tracing render engine mostly to make things look like they're in the real world, but we're not in the real world, we're in math space, so we want like absolute values, so 0 to 1 is good for us here. But yeah, you want to change view view transform to standard, and then when you render it, it'll be the right color. All right, so we're gonna drag this up, remove this, change this to 3D viewport. Sorry, a little bit of housekeeping. Drag this over. Rendered mode. Right here. You can set up your workspace however you like with Blender. I just like having the note. My brain hurt less. All right, so now we've got, oh, sorry, I should talk about what I did there. I went into the shader editor. So you just go into the shader editor on a pane, and now we've got we're editing the texture on the plane. So we have direct access. So now we're gonna add a texture. Let's use the stuff from default Blender. Let's use a wave texture. So one thing we want to do is Shift A is the button I'm hitting to add stuff. So Shift A, and you want to add a color ramp, and a color ramp will let you control how the colors work from this to this. There are very many tutorials on how all this stuff works, and by people much smarter than me, so I recommend checking those out, but I'll just do a crash thing. Change our color ramp to constant. We want to move our position to like 0.5, so we're just going black for the first half and white for the other half. Now you'll see, instead of having a gradient where it's like very blurry, now we have a constant, which is direct lines. This is what works best with the QR code model. So let's scale it down to 1. One really easy way to make a perfect loop with a wave texture in Blender is to just animate the phase offset from 0 to tau, or basically pi times 2 times 4 times 6 times 8, however far, you know. Or no, has to be tau, I believe. I might be wrong. We'll see. Test it. So let's open up our timeline. You can just drag up from this area here to get a new like tab thing. So timeline. I want to be able to see what's happening over. So we're going to change our animation length to 140 frames. So that'll give us a 140 frame animation. So what we want to do is make this happen over the course of this. So we change this to 0, we go to the first frame, we hit I, we mouse over the thing we want to change, we hit I, that adds a keyframe. We go to the frame after the final frame. So we have, our final frame is 140, we go to frame 141, and then we change this to tau, T-A-U. And then you hit I again, with your mouse over the thing. And what that's going to do now is make a loop that loops the phase offset from 0 to tau, which is pi times 2. And that's going to make this animation perfectly loop. So that's what we want, because ideally we want to just extend these animations and then make long animations. You see what I mean when we get there. But yeah, now we can change any setting on this node, and it will you'll always give us a perfect loop. So another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a mapping node. So mapping node, plug that in here, and for the mapping source, we're going to use the texture coordinates. We're going to use the object. What that's going to do is it's going to center our texture in the middle of the object. You can do this with UVs as well if your object is more exciting than a plane, but we're just doing a plane because we're just making a 2D texture. So now I have a perfectly looping loop that loops this this thing. So as you can imagine, there are many ways to loop things, and there's lots of cool stuff you can do in Blender. So like, you know, go nuts. But let's just start with this. The smaller our scale, the bigger our sort of feature is. So here's a really cool one where it's zooming in, but what I don't want it to zoom in, I want it to zoom out. So instead of changing our offset from 0 to tau, we can actually change it from 0 to negative tau. And what that's going to do is go backwards the other direction. So we go to our frame at the end here. We go forward 1 frame. When this is yellow, that means that there's a keyframe on that frame. So that's where we want to change it. And we want to change it to negative tau, negative TAU. Negative tau, which is pi times 2. Well, negative pi. That would also work. Negative pi 2, same value. All right, and then you hit I on that to keyframe, and now it should zoom out to us. Now we have this circle that's glomping out. If I want to make this texture more interesting, all I have to do is add stuff to it. So I add a math node. I put it in between the wave texture and the color ramp. Now let's add a different texture into the mix. Do a Voronoi texture with no randomness and smooth F1. This should give us a bubble-like appearance, hopefully. There we go. So by just adding 2 textures together and making sure one of them is perfectly looping and having them both have the same mapping, you all of a sudden have this entire, you know, world of things you can play with. And all these would make compelling masked diffusion animation. So let's and literally just play with the values and see. Kind of cool. It's going from like a square to a circle to into a. Another cool thing is you can actually play with the distortion on your wave texture, and it's going to give you a really interesting pattern that perfectly loops no matter what, as long as your phase offset is going from 0 to tau, or tau times 2, tau times. Yeah, let's just. I'm actually going to remove this. We're just going to do the ring texture now. Cool. I'm actually going to go 0.5. I think I want more stuff happening. Yeah. Okay. This is pretty cool. We're like half and half black and white, so this will give us a cool like indication of what's happening. So we're going to render out 140 frames here and selecting the directory. I put mine in my temp folder. We'll call this rings white. And render animation. This should go pretty fast. Cool. Now we have 140 frame animation in that place. I'm just going to very quickly open up DaVinci Resolve and cut those together into cut those PNG files into a video to use with ControlNet. DaVinci Resolve is free. You get it if you don't have it. Awesome. Good video editor. In Blender, you can also just export it as a or as a video, so you can totally skip that step if you want. I just like to keep the PNGs around because I end up doing fun stuff. Let's do this real quick. Rings, black and white. So we just made a quick video of our animation. All right, cool. So I'll pull that video up into VLC. You can see what it, or into OBS. You can see what it looks like. Video source is rings. Here you are. There we go. That's our video. It should loop perfectly. So this is what we're going to use to drive the diffusion. So there should be a clear separation between what's happening in the black areas and what's happening in the white areas. So let's move over to Deforum now that we have this image. Deforum, you just install it with automatic 1111 if you want to use it locally. You need like a GPU 3060, 2060, something like that, or above. Where are we? Deforum. Hey, there we are. Okay, over here in Deforum. I'm going to copy the path from that video that I just made. You just right-click on the file that you made, and where are you? Rings. Right-click, copy as path, or Control-Shift-C in Windows. And now in Deforum, I'm going to ControlNet. We're gonna enable ControlNet Model 1. We're gonna change it to no preprocessor. And we're going to get the QR Code Monster model. If you don't have that, you don't have it installed, it's grab you a link for it. I'll drop it in the chat. There it is. Copy link. There you are. So that is the that's where you download the model. If you go there, am I sure I want to leave YouTube? Yeah, of course. Okay. You go to Files and Versions, and you want to download this file right here. Control V1P SD15 QR Code Monster .safe tensors. That file goes in your Stable Diffusion Web UI extensions, Stable Diffusion Web UI ControlNet models folder. So it goes in SD extensions, SD Web UI ControlNet models. It goes in that folder there. And then once you have it in that folder, you just load up automatic 1111, and if you install it while automatic 1111 is running, you can click this little refresh button beside the thing, and it'll refresh the things, and you want to select it from the menu here. All right. Change the weight schedule to 0.8. Leave the rest of that stuff alone. Paste the path. Oh, that's the that's the path to the model. We want the path to the video. Pop that in there. So that's the path to the video we just made. Balanced, all that stuff is fine. Pixel Perfect is, if you have a lot of VRAM, click that. If you don't. It's fine. It just makes it more clean. The edge is more clean. Hybrid settings. This seems to be the coolest setup so far that we've sort of, me and Pancakes have figured out, mostly him. Hybrid settings after generation. Click generate input frames. Unclick first frame as in an image. I like hybrid motion optical flow. I like the flow method far and back. I like to leave this crap alone. I like to use the video depth. I don't use a comp mask for this. The comp alpha, turn it to 0, because what'll happen is the input image, which is black and white, will take over your animation and make it black and white. This is no good. Flow factor 1, 2, whatever you want. That's how much the image impacts the other one. But ControlNet's actually impacting it quite a bit too. So these things play with each other. So blah, blah, blah. Drop your prompt in here. I'm using just like Northern Ontario where I grew up. Looks cool. I'm using 2D mode with no motion, and right now I'm playing with the strength to find out what the best strength is. So last run I did was 0.73. We'll try 0.75 this time. Output, let's change it to 24 frames per second, and that should be fine. Hybrid video, blah blah blah. Prompts, keyframes. Our animation was 140 frames, so I've set my max frames to 140 and a cadence of 1. So it'll do every single frame. If you increase the cadence, you increase the smeariness of the video, but it renders a lot faster. So up to you. Just a taste thing. I'm using a simple Euler A at 25 steps, tiny 5x12 by 512, just for streaming because they go a lot faster this way. When you get something you really like, go ahead and crank that up and just let it render, and you'll get some really cool stuff. Right now, this only works with SD 1.5, so you won't be able to do this on SDXL yet. But hopefully somebody will make a QR code ControlNet for SDXL, and then we'll be off to the races. You're all good. Let's run it. Okay. Let me check. Aha! Let's interrupt it. When you used hybrid video, you need to change the video init path to the video you made, as well as the ControlNet one. I missed that one. So that's in init, video init. And I also turn your image init down to 0. I think that should help not overwrite the colors. Let's try that again. All right. So remember, our animation looks like let me pull it up. Our animation looks like this. Boop. So you can see what it's doing when it's diffusing. It's actually imparting that on the diffusion itself. It's really cool. This should make a pretty cool animation. See if I can find some examples of the stuff we did. Yeah. Oops, I got my other video in the way. So yeah, like you can see, that's using like a grid animation. Where did I put that? That's using a very similar one to the one we made just now with the rings. Yeah. This is so cool. That was like a 90s point and click adventure game one that I did. It's like flashing, glitchy, pixelated one. Super cool. Yeah, I tried having the prompt to find some shapes to see what it would do, and yeah, it came out really cool. And that's what's going on in the background. That's the ControlNet mask. It's this. I like how it just subtly changes the animations. And some more grids. There's something really cool about grids in nature. That's a slow motion version of the starfishy one. So you can see. This is without hybrid video. So this was before I was doing the hybrid video experiments. This is just pure ControlNet. And it's a little flickerier than using the hybrid video with the stuff we've been doing. Oh, wow. All right, this one's almost done. Let's check it out. Pull it up on OBS. You'll see. There we go. Well, that's pretty cool. The way everything grows out. So as you can imagine, if you just extend the animations of the input textures indefinitely, you know, or if we could, what would be really awesome in Deforum is if we could get a little checkbox to just loop our input videos so that we can just put whatever, you know, target frame we want as the end frame and just let it render and render and render and render. But for now, yeah, you can just double, triple, quadruple your animation length as long as it loops and just get these big, long, flowy animations that like they flow in a very different way than the traditional trying to move the camera through the space methods that currently Deforum does. That's mesmerizing. I love that. All right, let's try another one. Let's try portal to another dimension. Fantasy and science fiction. Book cover. 1970s. Analog. Technology. And what's another cool thing? Oh, let's try Nanopunk, which is like little tiny stuff. This might make something really cool. Might make something really awful. We just won't know. Bring this guy back up. Watch that cool thing happen. Okay. I'm willing to let this one go. See what we get. No, they can be anything. Yeah, the masks can be anything, and you can use them for static images as well. That's actually where all this started. Was these here? Let me hide this guy. Beep. All right. You see. Basically, any shape you want to make. The only important thing is that it's like really separate, like a really dark color, a really bright color. And I think black and white is the most important for the way the ControlNet model works, but might be wrong. I haven't played with it enough yet. I do have some textures that are, like animated textures with solid colors, so I do plan to run those through and see what happens. But yeah, for now, really crazy what you can do. Just adding some of the other videos I made today to the pile here. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could do a threshold on it, like in After Effects or Premiere or whatever. Just get it down to black and white silhouette, and it would totally work. It might not it might not make a dancer on the screen, but it'll do something in the shape of the dancer. It'll do whatever you prompt it, but like in the shape of the dancer. Might not necessarily be a human form though, depending on what it sees. All right, this one's almost finished. Let's pull it up, see what it looks like. There we go. Doop, boop. Let's hide you. Well, that's trippy. Hey, Anomaly. Well, that's freaking crazy. All right, let's kill you, bring you back, add you to the pile. There we go. Let's shuffle these. Why not? All right, cool. Let's try another one. That one came out a little silly with the text and stuff, so let's actually remove everything but the portal to another dimension and see what it makes of that. Oh, I just realized you couldn't see the prompt. I'll get the hang of this one day. Staying very eyeball. Let's see what happens. No. No. I wish. I think the best you can do is do more loops than you need. Try to find a seamless-ish looping point, and then crossfade them. I mean, it's gross and manual. He wants to do manual labor, but I think that's the move. I wonder if you loop back to the same seed though. It's the same input. Might be onto something. You like how I was like, there's no way in hell that'll work, and then I was like, actually, maybe. So 140 frames. We want to get back to the seed. We want it to roam for 139 frames, but we want that 140th seed to be the same. No, we don't. Well, maybe we do. Would that get it back into the same realm? Or is there too many extenuating circumstances to make it the same frame? There's one way to find out, isn't there? Let's try some seed scheduling and see if we can make a perfect loop. I have a feeling we won't be able to, but I don't think it'll be your idea's fault. I think it'll be my inability to pull it off, but let's try it. Let's jump back over to Blender while we're waiting. We can make another input. This has just been running the whole time. Oh no, that's my that. All right. Layout. Let's plug our wave texture into something mathfully. Instead of add, let's do divide because I'm feeling sousy. I'll stick to the vanilla stuff. Just plug stuff in and try stuff. Don't worry about whether it's the right node or the wrong node. If it looks cool, it's the right node. That's kind of cool. What if we would change our ring to a... Ooh. Yeah, just change stuff. You're not going to kill anything. If you do... That might be cool. But you can see, you can play with this color ramp value to like make it, more or less of the texture. This is pretty cool, actually. I think this is gonna make something crazy. All right, let's render this texture. Call this saw blades. Like saw blade. You render. We'll go back to Deforum. This is the one of the nice things about having a 3090 is I can do Blender and Deforum at the same time without my computer exploding. All right, let's go. Ooh, let's check out that video it made. Back to Deforum. I'm gonna get really fast with this stuff one day. You. Add file. All right, here's the video we just made. Come on up. Ew. That is cool. I wonder if you went sequentially seed-wise, went like seed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then randomized all your stuff, and then you get to the 12th frame from the end and go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If it would like give you a 24 frame transition that would like bring the seeds back to convergence, would that be any different than just having random seeds? I don't know, but I think that might be the thing to check out. So let's hide this, and we can keyframe our seeds here. So we want to schedule them. Crap. I forgot I'm dumb. What's S? How does seed scheduling work in Deforum? Where do you see travel script? Hello, pancakes. In the dev. Commit. Do you know how to do seed scheduling, Tenzia? Yeah, I just I'm too dumb. What would the what would the thing be for that? That's the expression. Trying to figure out. Yeah, I don't want to get into parsec for this, but basically we were just going to try to go like seed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for the first 12 frames, and then do the rest of the animation with random seeds. And then when you get to that 12th last frame of the animation, go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to see that if it would like do anything. Yeah, I just don't think it'll work because I have a feeling incremental seeds are relatively the same distance as a random seed in the way the dimensional space works. So I'm not. And I don't even know if I would be doing it right here. Although I guess I could just do it manually. So one would be 2. 2 would be 3. Holy crap. It's going to be hard on my brain. Okay, and then 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12. Okay, so we've got the first 11 frames. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I should use ChatGPT. And then is zero random? I think 0 is random. And then 140 minus 12 is 128. So at 128 we'll go seed 12. 129 would go seed 11. 130, 10. 131, 9. This is so dumb. Now -1 is random? Okay. 132. I feel like this is going to do nothing, but it's a really good way to waste time. 7. 134 would be 6. 135 is 5. 36 is 4. 30. I'm sure this is possible with an expression, but whatever. 38 to 139. 1. Hell yeah. Okay. So that should go and then it should go right? The technical terms. All right, YOLO. Oh yeah, ladder. All right, I'll have to play with that after. All right, we got 140 frames. We're doing this whole thing. I think that's right. We'll stay on. I don't know. YOLO. Might have to shift these all by one, but we'll see. Okay, let's try a prompt that we know what it looks like. So let's do they're in Ontario at sunset, pine trees, rocky shores, windy, crisp autumn evening. 35mm lens, photography. Let's try like Fujifilm, make it all awesome looking. All right. We'll know this works if it doesn't crash, first of all. And we'll know it works if this changes. The strength is high, too. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. I broke something real good. Let's have a look at those keyframes. 0. Is there like a keyframe validator, I wonder? So we got to 12. Maybe -1 isn't random. Maybe S was random. I kind of like what this is doing, though. So I just went to that thing. I just went to that seed and just stayed there. It's like Christmas craft art or something. I'm letting it run. I don't care. This looks crazy. Embrace the glitches. I can validate this while this runs. 0, 1, 1, and 2, 2:3, 3:4, 4:5, 5:6. That looks right. So I think it's probably this. Maybe it's 0. Let's go with seed schedule. Seed schedule syntax Deforum. Can I see the? Oh. Math is hard. Oh yeah, you guys can't even see that. That's weird. I wonder if it's 0. So if it goes right back... How does ladder work? Should be hitting the last few frames soon. Are we on frame 120? We should be... It should kick back into motion in 3 frames, 2 frames. This one should have a new seed. Interesting. And now the seeds should be changing again. Okay. I might try that though. One sec. Deforum, seed, keyframing. Zero. Oh, I think it's 0. I think -1 is for the other schedules. I can tell after 13 frames if I'm wrong. Sent you a new run of the workflow. Oh, looks great. It's like bananas and melons and pancakes and Venus flytraps. Oh, okay, we're losing it again. Wonder why. Okay, so I guess the schedule doesn't work exactly how I wanted it to. I think what I need to do is add some math code there. One sec. -1 times costs. I don't know. I'm just gonna try this. Try this crazy code here. This probably won't work either. But YOLO. Do something after 12 frames. Oh, sorry. I added this code here. See what happens. I think it's working. What do you say? I'm on frame 13. Oh, it's getting sparkly. Yeah, no, we're losing it. Yeah, I think I just misunderstand the seed scheduling system. That's fine. Let's go back to iterative. Yeah. Doesn't say how the ladder would work. I wonder if I could just do ChatGPT. Give me a second. Can you make me a seed schedule? Make me a List of values that goes from. Oh man. Oh, where's the other window? See schedule. Okay, let's try this. Well, what fills in the no. Okay, it did exactly what I asked it to. Good lord. That is funny. That is really funny. So it made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 12. It put random number between 1 and 1,000, and it did that for every single value. I mean, this is literally what I asked it to do, so I deserve that, I suppose. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. With randomly generated numbers between 1 and 1,000. I'd like you to randomly generate the numbers, please. Oh my god. Okay, you're adding the string random between 1 and 1,000 in each keyframe. Can you please just place an actual number between 1 and 1,000 in each keyframe? There we go. God, that's funny. Oh my god. It's so smart and so dumb at the same time. I love it. Okay. I think this should do at least what we wanted it to do. Let's try that. Look at that horrible text. Oh, value explosion. Oh, I think we did it. We have frame 13 yet? Everything's sparkling. 14? 15? 17? No sparkles. Okay. This one's for all the marbles. Persevering. Banned. I really like this forcing geometry on nature thing. So what are we betting? Loop or no loop? The input values are slightly different, so they won't be the same images. But hopefully they'll pull from the same areas in latent space, so who's to say? Oh yeah, we have to make our crazy saw blades animation. Maybe I'll do like deforestation or like timber and cutting down trees and stuff like that. See what happens. Yeah, the black and white ones came out so cool. I think they'd be really cool to do with like Giant's Causeway too, with those like hexagonal stones and like the green lush. Yeah. Render, 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 render. This is gonna be a lot better in the winter when my house is cold. Drone footage of ancient Stonehenge. Almost done. Will it loop? Bow, 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 bow. Let's find out. Add file. That doesn't look like the first frame. No. But let's find out. No. I wonder why though. Same prompts, same seeds. Guess it's just not the same input images, so yeah, this is what it is. I do hope somebody gets us there. It might be possible to do with like init images, like guided diffusion. Like just render that first image and then get back to it. Matisse built some stuff into Deforum that does something like that, but unfortunately, the method of getting back to the image looks like shuffling through a deck of cards of images to get there. But maybe we can find a way to style GAN ourselves back into that position or something. It'd be really, really cool. Okay. Go away, seed schedule. Let's go back to an iterative. And let's try the other video, which is... Where did I put it? Videos. Saw blades. What did I call it? Did I not make the video? Oh, I didn't make the video yet. One sec, I'll just drag it into Resolve real quick. Saw blades. Cool. And you're in videos. Saw blades. Copy as path. So you go in here and init video here. Yeah. And then let's go prompts. Deforestation, cutting down trees, chainsaw, blades, forest. Let's see. Oh, what did I break? Oh, the seed schedule. What's the default value? I think it's in any of the animations I've already made. Seed. I think I have to add this crap. Keyframes, schedule. I think it still has to have that there. LOL, no, that's not right. What did I break? What did I break? What did I break? Well, I want an iterative. Maybe I just want random. Ah, shoot. Unexpected character after line. Huh. Okay. Let me grab my prompt. And I'll just kill this and bring it back. And we'll rebuild the environment real quick. Yep. I'm going to restart automatic 1111. It's loading up. Okay. This will give us an opportunity to show you what all the settings are. We'll just go panel by panel. Keyframes, we'll leave it in 2D mode, cadence of 1, maximum frames 140, that's the length of our animation. Strength schedule we will set to 8. We'll turn it down if it's too burned and exposed. We'll change the zoom to static 1, leave transform center at 0.5, leave everything else at 0. We can actually leave all this stuff alone. You can get into that later if you want. No need. Config, the CFG is fine. Clip skips off by default. Seed. Just curious. It was the escapes, the slashes from the text file. Yeah, I thought that's what it was, but I didn't know how to get it back to Back to its place. All right, so let's see iterative seed there. Blah, blah, blah. Strength. Yep, you're good. Okay, prompts. Let's paste our prompt back in. Init, video init. And let's grab our video. We're not actually doing video init, but we are using it as the hybrid video init. Bloop. And we're going to go here and change the strength to 0 to make sure that it's not black and white. Enable ControlNet. No preprocessor. The model is QR Code Monster. Weight schedule of 0.8. Starting schedule. That's all fine. Path goes here. Balance is fine. That's all fine. Let's add pixel perfect. Let's go after generation. Generate input frames. We don't use the first frame as the init image. Let's do optical flow. Far and back. Let's do video depth. Let's leave the comp mask off and change this to 0. Let's try that. I think that's all the settings. Change the output video to 24 frames per second so it doesn't look like a flickery mess when it's done. Blah, blah, blah. It's all good. Run. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's the run. Let's do it. The alternative to that is just loading up an old file from one of your last animations. It's so small. Preview's so small. Why? Oh, geez, I didn't realize my thing was covering up all the work I was just showing you how to do. I'll get good at this one day, I promise. I think I need 3 more monitors. Just went through all the settings with them covered, like a champ. Well, this is too small to see, so let's go through them again. Euler A, 25 steps just for now, 512 by 512, easy peasy. Keyframes, 2D mode, maximum frames, same amount as your input video. This actually, I don't think it matters. I think when you use hybrid video, it'll just be the length of your video, but whatever. Strength, I'm using 0.8. We'll see if that's too much or too little. Zoom, I changed from the crazy value they give you to just 1. That makes it camera stay still. We don't want the camera to move. We're doing the motion with the input stuff. You can leave the rest of that stuff alone. You can leave the rest of that stuff alone. Prompts, drop your prompt in the thingamajing dong here. Init, strength 0, no init. Strength at 0. Video init, drop your video file in there, your video texture. Yep. ControlNet, add enable ControlNet. Pixel perfect mode. No preprocessor. QR Code Monster as the model. Weight schedule of 0.8. Paste in the path to your video. In hybrid video mode, you want after generation. Generate input frames. Don't use the first frame as the input image. Optical flow. Far and back. Video depth. No comp mask. And turn your comp alpha to 0. That way it won't try to embed the frame over top of the frame you're working on. That works better when you're like doing like a human or somebody dancing or something where you want like the original video to come through. But because we're using the video just to drive the movement of the diffusion itself, we don't actually want the color of the video in there. So that's why we've got this down to 0 and the init strength at 0. Otherwise, the initial video, which is black and white, will take over and your animations will be black and white. Which is totally a look if you want that. You can use that to control, you know. If you want to render one that's the colors that you want your animation to be and render a black and white one for ControlNet, you can actually point to each one as 2 separate videos. As long as they're the same length and the same stuff happens, it'll use one for motion and one for ControlNet diffusion masking. So many possibilities. Okay, let's see. 90%. This one looks a little unhinged, but we'll see. Wow. That motion is really cool. All right. Let's try a House of Mirrors. I'll walk around a bit and stretch my legs while this one renders. Feel free to take a break and chill out. Grab yourself a drink. I shall return. All right. What do we got? We got some spray paint on concrete skyscraper stuff. We got some other skyscrapers coming in. All this one looks like blurry as hell, so not sure what I would add. Certain prompts are just blurry. I don't know. All right. Let's have a... I'm trying to think of the best way to just like have like a gallery going of all the ones I've made other than just having to constantly... Because they're all in separate subfolders. It's super annoying to go in and add them every time I make one. But whatever. Let's do it. that one. And then where were we? That's a one, I think. That. I need to learn how to make watch folders a thing in my life. I'm just going to move this down a bit so we can still see. Settings. I think. Let's make a new texture. Okay. We're back in Blender. That one's cool. I'm going to save this one. Normally save my text. Go away, magic text. Try a Voronoi. But instead of a 3D one, no, 3D's fine. Be like with that. That's pretty damn cool. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do this. They're all fine. What are the different? That's a little more organic. Feels less like a hard one. Triangle's cool though. Or but screw it. Hard. That might actually be pretty freaking sick. Huh. We gotta try it, right? Screw it. I have a feeling this is just gonna be weird. I have no idea what it's gonna do with all this black space. This is weird. This is gonna be a weird one. I'm gonna save myself a second here and or we lossless. Also as a just realized you guys. All right, cool. Save myself the render step. All right. Oh yeah, we didn't see what our skyscrapers look like. Back over to Deforum. Oh, my audio's going in and out? That sucks. Maybe I need to get up on the mic more. Is that better? Video source, VLC, yep. Remove, yep. A file. There we go. Here's skyscrapers. That's cool. Got really blurry though. Don't know why. Prompt was too unspecific maybe. All right, let's try. This is the one I just made. Temp sparkles dot thingy. All right, cool. Copy path. ControlNet. Paste path. Init. Video init. Paste path. Well, let's get our sparkle on. Okay, let's try beautiful night sky littered with stars. Evening, a campfire, smoke, and marshmallows. YOLO. This is amazing. What is it doing right now? It's so coherent. I gotta figure out how to DJV. Can I bring this up as a external window? Yeah. All right, cool. And then I can just load. Nope. AISD images, Deforum. Oh, of course. Open with DJV. Okay. Oh, there it goes. The campus kid just appears. That's great. That's really cool. It's so weirdly coherent. Huh. Okay. I'll try something that isn't this. Space battle over Jupiter. Large ships. Energy weapons. Sci-fi 70s. Book cover. Explosions. Hmm. It's interesting how stationary but movementy it is. Hmm. The scene's getting pretty busy. I wonder if you just let this one loop over and over again, how insane the battle would get. Just nothing but just bugs everywhere. Again, this is all 512 by 512. If you start cranking this stuff up, it starts looking a lot better. Just kind of exploring ideas right now. That's pretty cool. I like the way it sort of organically grows up. It's cool. Let's go back over to Blender and try a different texture. Sparkles. Wave. Let's add another wave. We're gonna do 2 waves. Ooh, that's interesting. Like with that's pretty cool. Yeah. Three. That's interesting. Ooh, that hard line's gonna be cool. Okay, but there's too many triangles. Okay. I think that's the one right there. Okay, that one's gonna be cool. Call this geometry. Okay. Videos folder. What did I call it? Oh yeah. Geometry. There you are. The path. Right. Back to Deforum. Okay. We're in Deforum. Pardon me. Sorry. All right, we're gonna get this here, and then we're gonna get you. Okay, and we're gonna try. This is cool already. I wonder what I did. I wonder if I did something weird. 01. This does seem blurrier than it used to be. I wonder if I screwed something up. Pixel, you're all good. Keyframes. It's fine. Zoom is static at 1. I didn't change any of this. The seed. Still editor. 7.2. Just let it run. This is wild. See how it looks. Not you. You. What? Oh, I just closed the app. Damn. Oh, render's going faster. Maybe it's better with that off then. Whoa. Wonder what's causing all that stuff on the sides now. What's the animation doing? Huh. Weird. That's cool. This is cool. Okay, let's check out the one we just made. This stuff. Oh, the way those stairs go up at the end there. Okay. All right, I think I need to extend this animation a couple times and just let it run. That is cool. I like the little art it makes for the walls. I wonder why. I wonder why the sides wigged out like that, and I wonder if it's gonna happen again. What is it about that input pattern that made the sides wiggle? You see, it just makes all this crazy stuff on the sides at some point in the animation. I wonder if it's just the way those lines, the intersecting lines, the way the ControlNet model sort of interprets that, just makes it go haywire. But it's pretty cool. It just forces them to merge. Man, that's trippy. The way that room just pulls towards you like that. Yeah. That is trippy. Huh. Okay. Let's go look at that animation. Maybe we can figure out what. Instead of divide is a similar problem here where I think it's when a white area like this gets trapped and when it gets trapped and made to be smaller and smaller and smaller, which is like a super hard thing to avoid. I think that should be ideal. Yeah. Call it bulge. Forum. All right, let's hide you, and I'll try the same prompt actually. Hybrid video will be videos. No, temp bulge. Copy path. Init. Video init. And hybrid, no, ControlNet. Same prompt. Who needs acid? Just diffuse stuff. Oh man. Stable diffusion. Output. No, outputs. Yeah. Boing. Boing. I think after this one, I'm going to call it a day. But if you need to know how to do this or you missed anything, this will be up. You can just start it from the beginning, and I go through the whole process of creating a texture and how to use it in ControlNet with Deforum and hybrid video to make these animations. So if you make some stuff and I want to see it, so link me on Twitter, tag me, send me a DM, pop on the Discord, say hello. I want to see what you make with this stuff. I'll play the animation and then I'll sign off. This one's pretty cool. So yeah, just mixing two textures together in Blender and generating a animated texture and then using that as input. Or you could take any video clip and run a threshold on it in Premiere or Resolve or After Effects and get the silhouette and use that as your ControlNet input. As long as you're not expecting what we went in to come out, you should be pretty happy. All right, let's check out this animation. There it is. And scooch. That's really trippy. I'm gonna have to make a reel of stuff that we did today and post it on YouTube tonight. Well, thanks for everybody who came and hang out, and everybody who wanted to learn. And as I said, if you missed it, you just got here, sorry, but you can just go back and watch the whole thing from the beginning. I get the whole process, I think, done within about explaining how it works within about 20-30 minutes with a little Blender tutorial. So yeah, have fun and enjoy. This is a really fun process, and hit me up on Twitter. I'd like to talk to you. Bye bye.